Hi, Deb here from Online Camera Ed. In this video we are working in Photoshop and we're going to do some beauty retouching. So let's open our image first. Okay, now you'll see here we've got a little bit that we can do with this image. There are some ethics involved, but we're not going there. Step one is we're going to remove any blemishes. Now this lady is quite fortunate, she doesn't seem to have very many. Okay, we're going to use our spot removal tool. Okay, now what we want to do is set our brush size so it's just bigger than the spot that we want to remove. So that's not bad there. If you need to change it, click down here, make sure your hardness remains at 100% and adjust your size here. Okay, and when you're ready, just put it over the spot, left click with your mouse and the spot is gone. So we'll pick up any that we have here. There's one there. There's one there. Okay, that seems to be all. Okay, so that's that section done. We have removed the blemishes. Now the next section that we're going to be working with is the wrinkles and lines. Okay, so when we start with wrinkles and lines, what we're going to do to remove those is we're going to go layer and we're going to go duplicate layer. And we're going to give it a name. Now because we're working with wrinkles and lines, that is what we are going to call it, and we're going to hit OK. Now down over here on the right hand side you'll see we have our background original layer. Now we have our wrinkles and lines layer. The wrinkles and lines is the current layer because it is on the top and it is active. If we can switch between the two, the one that's highlighted is the one that is active. Okay, now you'll know from earlier in the module you learned how to remove things using the patch tool, so that's what we're going to use again today. So here it is over here on the left hand side and it looks like a band-aid. So we're going to click that one. Now we're going to come over here and we're going to very carefully, the first part of this is it becomes a lasso tool, and we are going to find the bags under the eyes. Okay, now we're going to we let go, we're going to pull it down onto the cheek and it is fixed. Okay, now Control D to get rid of your patch. Okay, now we're going to go over here. We're going to do this one. Okay, and then we're going to pull it down on the cheek to source where we want the stuff to come from. Then we're going to go Control D. Okay, now that one didn't actually do a very good job. It actually put a little bit of dark color there. That was from the hair. So we're not real happy with that one. So we're going to go up to edit and we're going to go undo. And we're going to go edit and we're going to step backwards, and that's going to take that one out. Now the reason that did it is because when we pulled our patch down, we let it stay in the dark area. Now it's a little bit touchy there because we've got the cheek, so we're going to actually pull it over here this time and see if we can get a better result. Okay, no, we're still not happy with that one, so we're going to pull it up there. Okay, and Control D to get rid of it, and it's not too bad, we can fix the rest of it up later. Okay, that's the patch tool. Next item we're going to worry about is these lines. So we're going to use the healing brush for the lines. So we're going to come over here and we're going to set our brush so that it is about the size that we need without being too big. Now with the healing brush we have to set where we want it to take the color from. So we're going to hold our Alt key down and we're going to use that turns to a target, and we're going to target here. Click in the cheek and then we're going to come over here and we're going to actually just rub out those lines. Okay, now we're going to come over here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use Alt and we're going to target there, and then we're just going to come up here and we're just going to fix that up, that bit that we didn't like before, and we're going to take those lines out from there. Okay, so that's not too bad. So we've actually done our wrinkles and lines. So that is one step. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to soften the skin. Okay, now there's a little bit more involved in this one, so we're going to have to pay a little bit of attention to get this one done. Okay, so up here, and we're going to go layer and we're going to duplicate the layer again. This time we're going to call it softening the skin. Okay, then we're going to click on OK. And you'll notice if we come over here, we now have 3 layers: our background, our wrinkles and lines, and our softening of the skin. Now, because we're going to be working with just the skin, we don't want any changes we make to affect the whole of the image. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use one of our selection tools, which we did in the earlier part of this module, to select just the face. So I'll just... you can use whichever one you want. You've got lasso tools, you've got marquee tools, you've got magic wands. It doesn't matter which one you use, it just matters how good a job you do of actually selecting the face. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that now. Okay, now that we have made our selection, you can see here that we have selected the face area and excluded the eyes and the mouth, etc. We're going to go up to filter and blur. And we're going to select surface blur. Okay, now you can see it has put like a, it's nearly like a posturized look. So it sort of has smoothed the whole thing out, and yeah, it looks extremely unnatural and a little bit odd at this stage. Now with our settings here, we can change these. What quite often works is keep your radius around 22, something like that. Could even go up to 30, 32. Make sure there is at least 5 to 10 difference in numbers between your threshold and your radius. Okay, so once we've done that, we're going to hit OK. Okay, and then when we go Control D, and you'll notice the bits selected have gone. Now what we can also do to soften it a bit and make it look a tiny bit more natural is we come over here and we look at our opacity of this level, and we can slide it down. Now if we slide it all the way down, then you'll notice it goes back to how it was, and then we slowly slide it up until we're quite happy with the actual result. So in this case, I think we're going to leave it round about there, and it doesn't look too bad. Okay, so that is that section done. So what we're going to do now, the other thing that we can do is we could, if we wanted to, increase the redness in the lips a little bit. So to do that, we're going to do it again. We're going to go layer, and we're going to duplicate layer, and we're going to call it red lips. And we're going to go OK, and we'll notice up here that we now have red lips. Okay, so when we have to do this thing again, where we have to actually isolate the lips. So we're going to go to view, and we're going to go to zoom in, and we're going to use one of our selection tools, and we're going to select just the lips only. So okay, now you can see that we have selected just the lips here, so we're ready for the next step. Now over on your right hand side here, you will see the hue saturation. So we're going to click on this, and this creates a new hue saturation adjustment level. Okay, so you can see over here we have our options come up here. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to move our saturation slider up a little, and you will see as we do, watch what's happening to the lips. Now we don't want to take it too far, we can take it right down. Okay, well we can take it to just about there, so it still looks natural, but it just has that tiny bit more colour. Okay, so we're going to leave that there like that. Okay, and there we have it. Okay, so essentially that is what we've done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to give this another name. We're going to go File, and we're going to go Save As, and we're going to call it to Done. Okay. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go back here, and we're going to open up our original image, which is this one. Okay, so there we've got our original, and then we've got our edited one. I'll just view that, move that out, zoom out. You can see them at the same. So there's our edited version. There's the before version. So it's actually come up reasonably well. It hasn't taken us that long to do, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. The hardest thing I find is getting your selections accurate. So that's what makes the big difference in how it goes. There's the before, there is the after. Okay, give it a go yourself and see how you go.